Hello students, very warm welcome to our open elective class. The topic for today's discussion is very much related to crops, or more precisely cash crops. Okay, so let's get into the discussion. The topics that we are going to cover here are natural rubber. We'll talk about natural rubber, its cultivation, its processing, and packing. So our topic for today's discussion is rubber, or natural rubber, that pivots around these three topics, right? These three topics: cultivation, packing, and processing, right? Now, before we start, let's just take a look into crops of India. In India, we generally divide crops into two categories. One is food crop, the other is cash crops. Food crops are meant for direct consumption. You can see cereals, pulses, spices, cereals like rice, wheat, jowar, bajra, barley, pulses like gram, tur, masoor, that means dal, right? Spices, these are some of the very common spices available: cardamom, pepper, ginger, chilies. These are meant for direct consumption, right? But cash crops are what? Cash crops are agricultural crops. Okay, what are they? Let's just write. These are agricultural crops, right? These are generally grown, or these are planted for the purpose of selling on the market for export purposes that will earn profit, right? Now see, cash crops are divided generally under these subheads: oil seeds, okay, like groundnut, mustard, coconut, castor. From these seeds, oil is extracted. Okay, fibers like cotton, jute, silk, we make fabrics out of this. Plantation crop covers tea, coffee, rubber, all this. So the topic of today's discussion is rubber. Tobacco, sugarcane, all these fall under a class called other crops. Okay. Now see, let's bring to you some very common cash crops. This is jute, then we have cotton, rice, wheat, and today's rubber. Okay. So cultivation of rubber. Right? Now see, Thailand and Indonesia are two of the leading rubber producers in the world. So this is something very important to be noted. Thailand and Indonesia are the two most important leading nations that produce rubber, right? They are harvested mainly in the form of latex from Hevea brasiliensis. This is the scientific name of rubber tree. Okay. This is the scientific name of rubber tree. In general, rubber is a tropical tree. Tropical tree means what? It grows in the tropics, in tropical countries. Rubber tree grows to a height of 100 to 130 feet. You can imagine how tall they are by seeing at these pictures. See here, you can get an estimation of their height. It can be 100 to 130 feet. Pretty tall, right? And they live up to 100 years. They live up to 100 years. Okay. So since rubber is generally cultivated in the tropical trees, this itself is an explanation why the leading natural rubber producers are tropical countries like Thailand, Malaysia, India, Brazil, and some of the African countries. Okay. Now see, take a look at this. This is very important. We'll see what is tapping. See the latex, this white substance here, this is the latex. This white substance is the latex. Okay. The latex is a sticky, milky, and white colloid drawn off by making incisions in the bark and collecting the fluid in vessels in a process called tapping. So what is tapping? This is basically the process where a part of the bark, look here, a part of the bark is taken off. Here, see, a part of the bark is taken off. I mean, an incision is made and the sap, the fluid comes dropping here into the vessel that is placed below the incision. Okay. The latex is harvested by slicing a groove into the bark of the tree at a depth of 1/4 of an inch. 1/4 means what? 1/4 of an inch, which is approximately 6.4 millimeter, with a hooked knife and peeling back the bark. Fine. Peeling back means what? You just take it off. Fine. See, this is how tapping is done. Now take a close look at this. You will understand how tapping occurs. See, you can see drop by drop it is falling the sap. Now look here nicely. Look at the arrow. It comes dripping from these region. See this one. See, this is how drop by drop it is collected into the vessel, placed at the point of incision. Right? Now see, a thin layer of bark is removed along a downward half spiral on the tree trunk. If done carefully with skill, yes, here comes another point. This is very important. This has to be done by a skilled worker. If it is done skillfully, this tapping panel will yield latex for up to 5 hours, which is not less. If you do it carefully, up to 5 hours, the latex will come dropping down. Then the opposite side will be tapped, allowing this side to heal over. See, you must have seen your skin, if you have a small cut, it takes a little while to heal up, right? For, this same thing happens to the plants as well. So after the cut is made, it is given time to heal over. So during this healing period, what is done? The opposite side of the bark is incised. Okay. Then the opposite side will be tapped, allowing this side to heal over. Understood? The incision allows the latex to run down to a collecting cup. Like we were seeing in the, see, this is the collecting cup where it gets collected. The work is done at night or in the early morning before the day's temperature rises. This has to be kept in mind. It is never done in the noon time when the sun is high up on your head. When the sun is scorching, it is not done at that time. So the latex will drip longer before coagulating and sealing the cut. If the latex is exposed to very high temperature, what happens? The latex coagulates. And once it becomes solid, once it solidifies, it will block the incision, or it will block the channel. And what will happen as a result? There will be no flow of latex downwards. Understood? Yes. In general, it requires high temperature throughout the year between 20 to 30 degrees Celsius. So ideal temperature for growing or for cultivation of rubber is what? Please take a note. It is 20 to 30 degrees Celsius. In some cases, like for younger trees, rubber trees can withstand a low temperature of 15 degrees Celsius for a short period of time. Even if it is low, even if the temperature is low, it can only withstand this low temperature for a short period of time, not forever. An average rainfall of above 200 centimeter is necessary for latex tree cultivation or for rubber tree cultivation. All right. Rainfall of about 300 centimeter might cause some kind of leaf diseases. Please remember. And last but not the least, very important point is rainfall should be distributed uniformly throughout the year. It's not like only the first 2 months of the year there will be terrible rainfall, flooding rainfall, and then for the rest 10 months it is drought. This is not at all good for rubber cultivation. Rainfall should be distributed uniformly throughout the year. That means what? Some amount of rainfall should be there every month. Okay. High humidity of 60 to 80% is beneficial for rubber tree cultivation. So moisture or humidity is very, very important for rubber cultivation. Okay. So you can find the optimum climatic condition for rubber tree cultivation in India recommended by Rubber Board of India after carrying out several research. Now see, rainfall of 2000 to 3000 millimeters evenly distributed without any marked dry season and with 125 to 150 rainy days per annum. So every year there should be at least 125 to 150 days of rain. Okay. Maximum temperature of about 29 degrees Celsius to 34 degrees Celsius and a minimum of about 20 degrees Celsius or more with a monthly average temperature of 25 to 28 degrees Celsius. Right? High atmospheric humidity of the order 80% is a must. So humidity is something very, very important. Without this parameter, it is very difficult to maintain rubber plantation. Bright sunshine amounting to 2000 hours per annum at the rate of 6 hours per day throughout all months. So sunshine as well as moisture, both are equally important. And last point here is absence of strong wind. So very strong winds are not recommended for rubber cultivation. Okay, these points are once again given over here. It's being repeated so that you don't forget. Temperature, it is a tree of the tropical forest and requires constant high temperature. Thus, rubber tree cannot be grown in the high altitudes. Why? Because high altitudes, you know, it is cold. It needs heavy rainfall, well distributed throughout the year, as we were discussing just now. The plant needs more than 200 centimeters of rainfall. Okay. Soil condition, it requires alluvial or laterite soil. Okay. Now, this is an important point. Areas of production. India ranks 5th. What is the rank of India? 5th. India ranks 5th among the world's natural rubber producers. The state of Kerala is the largest producer of rubber in India. Okay. Kerala accounts for 91% of the total area under rubber plantation. Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, and Andaman and Nicobar Islands, including the Garo Hills of Himalayas, are the other producers. You might think Himalayas means it's very cold, but Garo Hills doesn't fall at in those regions of upper and middle Himalayas. So it's not that cold. Now see, now processing of rubber. Processing of rubber has got 4 basic steps: mastication, mixing, shaping of the viscous mass, and curing. Okay. these things, just need to know little about this, not too much. Just a little, a small, very brief idea will be enough for you. Mastication and softening, that is making it soft. Mastication and softening are usually carried out in different batches. It is carried out in batches. This is done either in large closed mixing machines or on rubber mills. Okay. A very famous example of this enclosed machine is Banbury. It is a registered trademark actually. Okay. It consists of heavy steel counter-rotating paddles in an hourglass-shaped chamber, holding up to 1/2 ton of rubber. Okay, rubber is sheared and softened in the gaps between these paddles, which I was talking about, and the wall of the Banbury mixer, and Banbury mixer is that machine, and in the gap between the two cylinders in the roll mill. Okay. Now we'll come to mixing. Mixing is carried out on machines similar to those used in mastication. Okay. Reactive materials, fillers, oils, and protective chemicals of various kinds are incorporated into the base elastomers. Elastomers are the polymers that are there in the rubber by combined shearing and mixing action. Okay, the compound is then sheeted out, coated with release soap to prevent sticking, and stored until use on steel pallets that can hold up to 1 ton of rubber. Right. Then if we talk about shaping of the viscous mass, now see, the shaping of the mixture into desired form takes place in several ways. Okay, it is done according to the demand. Right. Extruders are used to produce long, continuous products such as tubing, tire treads, and wire coverings. This is how a particular desired shape is given to the viscous mass. Now, finally, we come to the curing process. Curing is carried out in pressurized, it is carried out in pressurized steel molds, which are heated by steam or electricity to temperatures at which the interlinking reaction takes place. Typical cure conditions are several minutes at a temperature of 160 degrees Celsius. Right? It's because heat penetrates rubber slowly. Rubber is a good insulator, no? So heat penetrates it. Heat goes into the rubber, goes through the rubber very slowly. Articles must be allowed longer curing times up to several hours at low temperature. This is how curing is done. So this is how we are almost at the end of our lecture. Now let's take a small self-test to assess what we have understood. Okay. Which of the following Indian state is the largest producer of rubber? You know, correct answer is answer D, that is Kerala. India is one of the largest producers of rubber in the world. Kerala is the largest producer of rubber in India. It is estimated 60,000 hectares of land is now under rubber cultivation. And in the next 5 years, the area under liquid gold cultivation would be doubled. See, we call it liquid gold. Another question can come up over here. What is known as liquid gold? So your answer is rubber. Next question. Rubber is produced in option A, intensive subsistence farming, B, plantation farming, C, mixed farming, and D, sedentary agriculture. The correct answer is B, plantation farming, right? Plantations are large tracts of lands or estates used for cultivation of a single agricultural crop like tea, coffee, rubber, or spices. Plantations were introduced in India by the Europeans. These are two short questions again. What is latex? By now you know it, but it's just a revision. Latex is a cloudy white protective fluid extracted from rubber tree. It is contained in tissue beneath the bark of the tree, Hevea brasiliensis. What is natural rubber and synthetic rubber? Natural rubber is the rubber produced from the rubber tree, which is Hevea brasiliensis. The tree is mature. The latex from the tree is collected from a diagonal incision in the tree trunk. The tapping process does not destroy the tree, and the tree won't later heal over. Okay. Now, you might think, ma'am did not answer what is synthetic rubber. This one question I'm leaving for you. You can comment. You can give me your answer in the comment section. What is synthetic rubber? Okay. This is just a pictorial representation of the processing of rubber. Just look at it. You'll understand it's very clear. So thank you so much for attending the lecture. If you have any doubt, any confusion, please feel free to get back to me in the comment section. I will try my level best to clear your doubts. Till then, bye-bye.